Amid the tapestry of time, the whispers of the trade winds tell tales of ancient Pacific mariners. Fearless navigators who embarked on perilous journeys, their only guide, the sun, stars, ocean currents, and the knowledge of sailing passed down through more than 100 generations. The Drua, their loyal companion, painted the vast blue canvas of the Pacific, discovering islands that would become the jewels of the Pacific. Windfield sails transported the Drua through millennia of exploration and discovery, bridging far-flung islands and people. Woven into the very fabric of Fijian history, the Drua was not only a means of transportation, but a ship of dreams carrying the hopes of a people destined to connect the far corners of their world. As the Drua danced upon the waves, it carried not just the legacy of its past, but the hopes of a future, inspired by the wisdom of its ancient cultures.
Today, the Drua takes on a new role, bringing the timeless wisdom of the past with innovative modern teaching methods to create a more comprehensive learning experience. The University of Fiji has emerged as a beacon of this innovative and transformative education.
So we have a strategic plan, which is a 5-year strategic plan from 2022 to 2026. And that is to focus on holistic education, which we feel, being in the Pacific, we understand very well. So the Drua symbolizes our journey in holistic education. So while we're using it as a means of transport, in fact, symbolically, it's much bigger than what it is. It feeds right into the holistic aspects of the university's education.
Under the strategic direction of Vice-Chancellor Dr. Shaista Shameem, the University of Fiji envisions a holistic approach to education.
So you need to be able to integrate knowledge. So it's very interdisciplinary in that sense. You need the entire social aspect of knowledge to be able to ensure that the young person is ready for the future and ready for adulthood, really. And so this particular kind of education, which is very holistic, is actually anti-curriculum. So it's quite revolutionary.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the magnificent Vola Siga.
In 2023, the University of Fiji launched a groundbreaking initiative, the Drua Project.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome the Drua, the I Vola Siga. The West Fiji! And there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
This ambitious endeavor marked a new direction, intertwining traditional wisdom with contemporary education.
Like our forefathers who went before us, Pacific people like us today need our fine vessels to connect us.
The project encompassed a multifaceted approach involving the use of the Drua to navigate coastal villages and engage in the hands-on research process to unearth the traditional means of conservation, exploring the delicate balance between nature and human interaction.
This is a way, using traditional knowledge, is a way of reviving knowledge. You can call it traditional knowledge or original knowledge, and we forget that the older people have the kind of knowledge that probably isn't recognized or appreciated as it as much as it should, and then transferred to the next generation, which to me is the most important thing.
The Drua is not just about sailing a traditional vessel. It's a voyage into redefining education itself. Beyond being a vessel, the Drua operates at symbolic levels, a catalyst for change to the way we learn, connecting and building a sustainable future for generations to come.
I think this is a significant project because it is symbolic of bringing people together and connecting with wisdom and thinking about knowledge in new ways, thinking about action research and also individual and collective agency. So how communities can come together and build ideas for the future.
I now invite all the guests who are here today.
To champion the university's Drua project, essential support and funding came from various avenues. The Royal Society of the Arts played an important role by endorsing the initiative, while the Ministry of iTaukei Affairs emerged as a key partner, contributing crucial financial support to propel the project forward. Additionally, collaborative funding from the Climate U project, in conjunction with the University of the South Pacific, bolstered the university's efforts.
Was charged by the Nandi police on the 21st of July 2017 for such offence.
The University of Fiji also committed its own resources, emphasizing a collective and multi-dimensional approach to bring this visionary project to fruition.
So for us in RSA, we're really interested in how places, people and the planet can come together and flourish. And this is just a fantastic example of communities doing that.
Lawyers have played an important role.
The Drua project aligns with the University of Fiji's strategic plan. The initiative advocates for transformative and action-oriented research. It emphasizes student-centered learning and integrates traditional knowledge, fostering a more comprehensive educational approach.
For us, the reason why we built the Drua was to promote sustainable sea transportations and to revive traditional canoe building. Our Drua is actually our classroom, and now we can take our classroom to wherever we're doing our outreach program.
The constellation served as a celestial roadmap for early seafarers. They told stories of the seas, the winds, and the lands beyond. By observing the stars, our ancestors could determine their direction, estimate distance, and predict weather changes. It was a profound connection between people and nature.
And it's really important to revive and teach young people about this important knowledge. So building a Drua is a way that we can get the interest of the youth to involve in the building, and not just the building, the sailing, and learn about navigation, sailing, and what's beyond the sailing and navigations in terms of trying to protect our community and reviving the culture of sailing. It's a whole perspective of living in tune with nature.
With guidance from Captain Setareki, the students and faculty of the University of Fiji voyaged along coastal villages around Saweni, using celestial navigation techniques that guided Pacific mariners for centuries. As the Drua project unfolded, the echoes of the past became an integral part of the transformative educational journey at the University of Fiji. Sailing the Drua is a reawakening of ancient skills and a celebration of the symbiotic relationship between humanity and the boundless ocean.
It's very important to relearn this Drua voyage, is to reconnect back to the sea. These are the things that our forefathers believe in. the natural things that they used on those days to be here, to arrive in Fiji. They didn't have any compass or modern technique that bring them all over from where they were and up to here in Fiji. They were just using the current, the waves, and that's their interaction with the environment.
Traditional sailing's got all kinds of wonderful values and aspects that you don't learn through modern sailing. It goes way back in Fiji's history, right back to the Lapita people, even before Fiji was settled by Fijians as we know them today. And of course it embraced a form of sailing and a form of navigation which most people don't understand anymore. And a Drua has a very, very special capacity to sail upwind.
As the Drua embraces the open waters, the journey of rediscovery unfolds. The wind-filled sails carry the vessel forward, symbolizing a connection to the past. The students embrace the symbolism of the voyage, finding themselves immersed in new levels of learning and cultural understanding.
Drua, this research, it have helped me a lot in not only for my field of work, it also helped me gain so much knowledge and adhere to the issues that most coastal areas are facing.
The project's dual mission is to address environmental challenges and revolutionize educational methodology at the university, helping to both serve the planet and transform approaches to learning.
By the end of this process, it's a transformative exercise. Several layers of it. First of all, the whole
This participatory project explores traditional knowledge, engaging students and staff, and advocating for the public good. In doing so, the students rediscover a part of their history that had long been obscured by the noise of modernity. On the beachfront of the chiefly village of Veiseisei, which Fijians believe is the first landing place of the original Drua, Kaunitoni, the I Vola Siga found a warm welcome. Stepping into living history, the students and faculty were greeted by villagers and elders, all participants in the shared journey to mitigate climate change. Veiseisei village is nestled between the island's hills and the sea, facing the challenges that come with coastal living. The students step onto the sacred land where stories are etched into the very soil. The Drua project engages students from diverse subjects, each contributing to a holistic learning experience that seamlessly integrates traditional knowledge into the learning of academic subjects. Language and literature students immerse themselves in the community, documenting some of the village's traditional stories.
See, even though his home is here, he said he feels when there's a strong current, he can feel it.
The village's insights served as a bridge, connecting their cultural heritage with academic language studies.
All along we thought that this concept of oral storytelling is whatever we taught in literature classes. But today, coming over here and talking to this group of people, we have realized that oral traditional storytelling is still very much alive. It is still there, although the mode may have slightly changed. So Oral tradition and storytelling is diverse. We just have to explore it and try and understand it.
If water comes in, continues to come in, are there any plans? Do you think the village people will respond positively to relocate?
Reflecting on the village's perspective, it became evident that even the rich traditional knowledge passed down through generations didn't fully inform the students how to tackle present-day challenges like climate change.
There isn't any traditional knowledge of climate change mitigation that their elders had taught them. So they're coming up with strategies and methods so that their children are not affected due to climate change.
Engaging with villagers, students from environment studies learned about traditional conservation methods. They observed the impact of climate change, bridging the gap between classroom theory and real-world environmental challenges.
Rising sea level, the beach is no longer narrow, the beach is wide. During high tide, the water will come from the sea right up to the trees. So one of these days, this wave will begin to take the blue. But we've started to plant some trees. We've planted some mangroves. There's been 3 times we've done some mangrove planting. My house is called Namoli House. I'm from this village.
As discussions progressed, the village of Veiseisei became more than a destination. It became a classroom where lessons were not just taught, but shared.
Climate change is for real. And the last seawall that was constructed is about my age, which is 54 years of age. And it has really worn down. And to my experience, the climate change is badly affecting my village. As you can understand that the rising of sea level is rising almost in millimeters a year. So we need to do some sort of nature-based solutions so that we can protect this village. I agree with the modern education system to collaborate with traditional knowledge because it will augur well with our village setup. We can even save the world.
Students from the university's law school also interacted with villagers, seeking insights into traditional legal systems and exploring how indigenous knowledge intersects with contemporary legal frameworks.
There were not very much legal encounters because this is a chiefly village. Whatever the chief allows, then only they can do. They want some legal protection in terms of their traditional practices.
Discussions between the students and villagers revolved around the exploration of patenting traditional knowledge and investigating whether they had considered safeguarding this knowledge through legal means.
They're protecting the traditional knowledge that they have, the traditional ways they have. So if the government could help in and implement some more stricter laws in terms of their protection in terms of climate change, then that would be a very good help to the villagers here.
Students from the university's School of Business and Economics examined the economic aspects of village life, discussing sustainable practices within traditional communities.
The traditional trade, mostly in the village, a lot of the women had said that they still practice the barter system, which is good to most part, but then barter system only works when you exchange goods with each other. The barter system only worked for them during the pandemic time, but when the borders were lifted, that's when the problem arose for them, where they didn't have enough food to feed their families. So they started making the handicrafts to make money.
Handicraft is my business. It's a challenge, the different climate that we have now, because of the rising of the sea level. As you can see, most of the stuff that I have now most of them I buy them from the city instead of picking them from the sea myself. We've had a lot of changes about our business. Back then, most of our resources we can't find that easily found now.
The managing of resources part, the thing is that a lot of them don't know how to use, or the skills that they've learned from their forefathers are starting to be lost.
The exchange with villages like Taina added a practical dimension to their theoretical business education. As the students and villagers of Veiseisei exchanged experiences, a bridge was built between their worlds. Their conversations resonated with the promise of a future shaped by more collaboration and understanding.
This is the captain, Captain Setareki. Yeah.
In the spirit of shared exploration, the Drua, with students and faculty aboard, arrived at Lauwaki Village.
Welcoming you.
Lauwaki is one of the few villages in Fiji which has a female chief. Lauwaki became a vibrant chapter in the evolving narrative of cultural exchange. The connections formed with the people of Lauwaki Village went beyond textbooks. Medical students interacted with the villagers to discover traditional medicinal plants and herbs, linking ancient healing practices with the students' more modern medical knowledge.
Berna ni mamingase domanga kana itoboy ninda tiko na korba biti na nandanga sirndo ito takir nang rango na irai ona go sayali tiko ya.
The village's in-depth knowledge of local remedies offered the medical students a unique perspective on holistic healthcare.
Sebang tai chiko nango lebu sarai ramang tachonang sona mati rasa pasukai me balimbula se soba kana diabetes mersala musu amputate tagna ban rasena irsarani bakau saranga me bale pasukai me bale ke pakaram bese ni sele baya sarani me garabi sartu ngaba kakananga na waiba biti but so satu matenga balimbula bakabir nangon lalai better safe than sorry.
The School of iTaukei Studies, dedicated to Fijian indigenous knowledge, played a central role in the Drua project research. The iTaukei Studies students were at the heart of connecting with villagers, bridging the gap between traditional wisdom and academic study.
And solve the problem of climate change that the whole world is suffering from right now.
The knowledge and stories described by village elders helped weave a collective narrative of tradition and knowledge that had been passed down for generations.
Ikimamisa tumbumai ndo tuna bironanga bironungu tutu e biala ko iwetui ndo tuna sarao ko ya redana belobu la setunguri matasawa ndo warita katigo ya lolo menaua se watu ya nila ko menam belolo aloa e warita ya isala usumpuna mati se samati tu. With
the white heron. If it's a white heron, it's another thing? It's tide.
The villagers' narratives on climate change and tide patterns contributed to the students' deeper understanding of the iTaukei way of life. The students immersed themselves in discussions about the preservation of cultural heritage, exploring traditional practices and their relevance today.
We are learning a lot from the villagers here because actually they are the knowledge holders here. So whatever they are telling us, those are something new that we are learning. So this project is actually making me closer to analyzing why we are experiencing climate change in this generation today.
Na ndrauni bundi se na ndrauni China me se olongi binakatu se sengani dereka na busana sareza ke ngaindau kamusu tu bango kamusu saranga Rando tuna tunanga se peke mami. Leo vanga taka tuna sign ke dengo. Ikamustu baya. Kene balen na sangilamba.
Bridging the gap is the challenge, because as much as Fiji is a very small nation, the impact of modernization is seen all around. So traditional knowledge is a challenge, whether it's being passed down or not.
The ancestors read the signs written in the sky, the clouds, the winds. These elements told their own stories. Passing this knowledge on to the younger generation ensures that the people's connection to the land and sea remains unbroken. Carrying both students and faculty, the Drua continued its journey, sailing on to the village of Namoli. Here, the academic team engaged with the villagers on various subjects, including traditional means of conservation and medicinal plants. The villagers' insights into the tides and their observations on changes to the climate served as powerful material for the students. In the heart of these villages, the classroom extended far beyond brick walls. Students shared the knowledge they gained from textbooks and lectures with the villagers while learning profound life lessons from those who have cultivated wisdom from the land and the sea.
Climate change, I find, is for real.
Through these interactions, the Drua project emerged as a transformative bridge between traditional wisdom and contemporary learning.
Well, the Drua is steeped with history, with our culture and tradition. It represents the symbiotic relationship between man and nature.
As the students gathered data for their research, they reflected on how this traditional learning enriched their formal education and provided a tangible illustration of the holistic nature of the Drua project.
So I think the Drua took us from one type of education to another type of education.
Dr. Shameem passionately envisions a future where the Drua sails across oceans, connecting with other island countries who are also rich in seafaring traditions. Her aspiration is for the University of Fiji to be the spark that ignites the flame of knowledge that transcends borders and generations.
I'd like the University of Fiji to be a catalyst for that kind of knowledge. So it is rather huge and probably won't happen within my lifetime, but if we can just make a start to it and give enthusiasm to the young people and to the next generation, then I think we would have done our job as educators.
The rhythmic dance of the Drua across the Pacific mirrors the passing of wisdom, meandering through many generations. It is not simply a voyage over water. It is a passage through the currents of time, carrying the stories, traditions, and knowledge of Fiji's entire history. As the Drua sails on, it leaves behind a path illuminated by wisdom, beckoning others to join this journey of exploration and partnership.
The Drua project has launched a new direction in education, reviving traditional sources and methods of learning to pass down to future generations. The University of Fiji, through this visionary project, is not just navigating the seas, it is charting a new course towards a future where traditional wisdom and modern education harmoniously coexist, creating ripples of positive impact for generations to come.